The RTX 2060 and the RTX 3060. How well do they fare? How did I even get these cards? And does it even matter how well they perform if we can't even get them right now? Alright guys, settle down. Let me answer these questions for you. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kobe, and today we have these wonderful unicorns, the RTX 2060 and the RTX 3060. Now, these are cards that I personally love because they appeal to the mid-range gamer. I, as many others, love the powerful cards like the 3080s and the 3090s of the world, but there is always something about these lower tier cards that make it truly special. You never really need to sell your kidney in order to have a great gaming experience, and these cards that are sitting right here on the table are absolutely no exception. Now, of course, this is the year 2021, and you can't even get these cards anywhere. And if you happen to, you'd most likely be paying a ridiculous amount of money for these. So how in the world did I get these babies here? Well, this one is the EVGA 2060 KO Ultra, and I managed to get it straight from EVGA's website. Once in a while, and I literally mean once in a while, they restock on refurbished components, and I managed to be at the right place at the right time and snag me one of these bad boys. It cost me $300, which was the original price brand new, but EVGA does give you a 1-year warranty on refurbished items. Now, this isn't much, but it is better than nothing, and EVGA definitely has a great reputation for their products. And this RTX 3060 is the Gigabyte overclocked model, and I managed to pick this one up on Newegg. I was one of very lucky few winners on the Newegg Shuffle, but I had to pay a whopping $470 for this card on top of a motherboard. The card was bundled with the Gigabyte B550 Aorus Elite motherboard, which isn't a bad motherboard to have, but it is something that I don't need at the moment, and of course Newegg wants to get their money's worth on these cards by forcing these bundles on us. Nevertheless, the total bundle was just over $660. It sucks to be where we are when it comes to graphics cards, but this is the new normal in 2021, and unfortunately we just have to roll with it for the time being. But anyway, how do these cards actually perform? The RTX 3060 is the new generational version of the RTX 2060. So when it comes to performance, you should expect some sort of improvement between the two. Just how well? Well, for my testing, I decided to do both 1080p and 1440p ultra-wide benchmarks. I tested 6 games across different genres to give you all a good idea of what these cards can do. So let's check out the benchmarks, and after, we will discuss the overall results. So looking at the overall benchmarks, you clearly see that the 3060 performs better than the 2060, but not as much as you would think. In the games tested, you see some small gains going from one card to another. Now there are some reasons to this. When it comes to ultra-wide gaming, the results are consistent across the games, with the 3060 having anywhere between 15 to 20% gains over the 2060. But when it comes to 1080p results, you see that the differences aren't that great, and the reason for that is my CPU. The Ryzen 7 3700X is a great CPU, but at some games at 1080p, it can provide a bit of a bottleneck when it comes to resolution. Even looking at the overall results from Forza Horizon 4, you see that the GPU limit percentage is only 37%. That means that the GPU accounts for roughly 37% of the bottleneck, leaving the 3700X to account for the remaining. When it comes to 1440p and higher resolutions, the GPU is the one that normally gets bottlenecked most of the time. At 1080p, it's the CPU, and in this case, it shows. Despite this, however, the 3060 still holds the lead and shows for the most part how the new generation stacks up against the last. So, there you guys have it. The RTX 3060, despite my small but noticeable bottleneck, still holds as having a true generational improvement over the old 2060. More surprisingly though, I was impressed as to how well both cards perform at 1440p ultrawide. Since that is my personal resolution of choice for gaming, I always perform that test just to see how well those cards can handle gaming at that resolution. And when it comes to games like esports and racing, both cards do a great job at hitting those smooth frame rates. Now, AAA titles can definitely take a little bit of a hit, and you would definitely want to lower some settings in order to get those higher frames. But for cards that are supposed to be in the lower to mid range, they do a fine job. Now, does any of this even matter? Should you even care about these results in the first place? Well, if you're watching this in early 2021, then I guess not, because you most likely won't even get your hands on these cards for reasonable prices. Actually, I don't even know what a reasonable price would be for these cards, given the current state of GPUs at this point. But if you are watching this at a time when supply finally meets demand, and we're living in a normal world, or a more normal world, where you can go and purchase these cards at their base prices, then yeah, it definitely matters, because right now you can see how each card performs at those different resolutions. Either way though, it's cool to see how each generation of Nvidia's more affordable line stacks up against each other. But I hope you guys did end up enjoying this video. Make sure to hit like if you did, and also do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one.